welcome to Botches Off-Road. Today is a little 1 hour, I don't even know, Gavin, do you have a topic? I don't really have.
I have a few. I want to address a couple things here. Number one,
Okay.
I want to address our listeners. I need to ask if anybody else who is an influencer in this space, does the podcasting, what equipment do you use, and why? If you guys can answer back on Instagram, send a voicemail. However, I would like to know what camera equipment you use, why, what editing equipment do you prefer, why. Write me a paragraph. I don't care. And then I'd like to know, like, if you have any certain tips or tricks for getting good video angle that is typically used in this space, because I did get a DJI, what is this, a Action 5 Pro. I did some, because most of my content is vertical. I did mostly vertical shots, but I do have some horizontal. I want to start putting out some YouTube. And I'm just trying to see like how a lot of people are doing it. Like, I know I want to do some POV. I want to do some outside, like a selfie stick style outside of the car, doing some driving. Those are the two most common that I see, other than having other people like get out, you drive by, or you putting it on a tripod, you drive by, get the shot and then keep going. I want to try and I don't know if I'll be able to, but I want to try and get it to where I can get good film content minimally without having to not enjoy the overall experience. Because I think my biggest fear with starting to create this kind of content is that I'm going to be so worried about getting the right shot and so worried about creating content that I'm not actually enjoying what I'm doing.
Yep.
And maybe, I do thoroughly enjoy creating the content and taking the video. I just don't want to get so burnt out on doing the video that it's like a job that I don't like anymore, So I want, if anybody listens to this that does it, if Benji, I know you've started doing some videos. If you listen on this, if you have any tips, let me know. Jacob Biddle, if you have any tips, let me know. Anybody else who watches this that does this kind, or can push it out to another creator to maybe contact us and let me know. Because I did some content today. I'm trying to. It just wasn't what I wanted to. Like, I had to edit a lot of it out. And I know you're going to have to. Like, you get 4 hours of video, you're going to get like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour of usable video. Like, I get that. But it just wasn't like what I wanted. So just tips for that. If you can. And while I'm talking about this, Alex, speaking of voicemail, did we get any voicemails?
I haven't even checked. That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
To look up, I guess.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I love that segment. That's my favorite segment. And welcome to Season 3, 2026. Thanks for listening to us. Thanks for continuing to deal with our crap and unprofessionalism, apparently.
So we have a 4-second voicemail.
Okay.
And the transcript says Overland Park. So I'm just going to play it and see what it is. You guys ready?
All right, let's hear it.
Overland Fart?
I think it's Overland Farts.
Yeah.
Who is that from?
It's a kid from a number I don't have saved.
So it's not Shane's kid. This is the mystery. It's not any of mine.
Yeah. Oh, we also have a text message.
Okay. All right. Are you ready? You're going to read it out?
Yeah. Bloomingdale's sale ends today. Loyalists get a $25 reward.
Oh. So we got a spam text. Man, And Alex even had to blow the cobwebs off of the voicemail thing. Thank you to whoever that said Overland farts. Never thought we'd get to a place where we'd be thanking someone for that, but here we are. To the kid, next time you see us, we'd be happy to sign our autographs on your T-shirt, your hat. It'll be worth a lot someday. You already know it. Overland farts. What foods do we avoid eating to stop our overland farts? That's what I think he's trying to
No
ask.
such thing. No, you just let it happen.
And this is coming from Alex, who brought homemade chili to a overland wheeling event. And I had a hot dog's worth of chili and cut myself off. It was good chili. Really good cheese.
It was.
But you know what was really the savior of that day? I didn't mention it last episode. Me and Alex are sponsored by Imodium. And I went and got it out of the gas station. I flashed him the Imodium as I was walking into my truck. And he goes, "Oh, yeah, hit me up with that." So I threw 2 of them at him. We got in the truck. We took our Imodium. And that saved the day because I didn't have to poop once until we got home. And I guarantee you, if I didn't take that, I probably would have pooped in the first 30 minutes.
Oh, I did poop at O'Reilly's.
Hey, that still counts, though. Like, you were off of the trail.
Yeah,
And that's
you're
all
off
that
trail.
matters. Buying the Imodium saves you money down the road because you're not using TP. And, dude, if you get backed up, like, there's times where I've overtaken when I've OD'd on Imodium. And I'm like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel so good. Because there were parts of, like, I get an upset stomach, and I'm like, I'm going to take, like, one now. I'll take one in, like, 4 hours. Don't do that. Take, like, one every 8 hours. So, but then my stomach really hurting because I am not going to the bathroom at all. But it's still better than pooping. So, I'll take it. So, thank you, Imodium. Thank you to the gas stations that sell a 6-pack for, like, $8 fucking dollars. When you could buy a whole pill bottle from Walmart for less than that. That's bullshit.
Gas
but yeah.
station. What do you expect?
I know. But that has been like the most useful tool when going out. So thank you for the caller for your overland farts. And there's your tip from the Botches crew is use Imodium, buddy. Use Imodium or wear diapers. You might be on either one of those.
Thank you to Bloomingdale's for telling us about your sale.
Yeah, thanks, Bloomingdale's. Baloney.
Okay, one last thing on farts real quick. How was your fart then, Alex?
Wow.
Friday night and Saturday, you were farting up a storm like the whole day. Remember?
Don't give away my secrets.
I was just wondering how you felt better. Because, man, you were going at it all day.
Wait, what day?
Every time I fucking move.
Yeah, what day was that? Was that the day after the chili fiasco?
Yeah.
I think I was farting a lot too, actually. And I only had one hot dog's worth. Also, shout out to Nathan's hot dogs. Those were some good fucking hot dogs.
They are.
I've been eating those cheap $1 hot dogs for months because they're cheap. And the kid loves hot dogs, and it's not worth spending like $13 on a pack of hot dogs because we could like demolish them in a day. So we've been buying the cheap stuff, and I took a bite of those, and I was like, oh, this is heaven. This is heaven. I understand why they're so expensive. And I found an alternative to hot dogs, and they're like the $2, $3 smoked sausage. They're like 12 inches long. They come in a 2-pack. I will cut those in hot dog style lengths. So I'll cut them into 3s on each one. 6 hot dogs. That's enough for our typical family. And then I'll throw those in a hot dog bun after I throw them on the grill or over the fire. And those are better quality. They taste better. There's more of them. It's like 2 hot dogs in 1 bun. It's the preferred hot dog method.
I will take those smoked sausages and cut them in thirds and throw them on the grill for a second so they get warm. And then I will throw some honey mustard on them, and then boom, it's perfect.
Yep. Honey mustard, clutch. Real mustard, only for brats. Honey mustard, Everything else.
I like real mustard on like everything, but
I like
honey mustard's really good on those.
real mustard for me only goes with like fried onions on brats or sauerkraut on brats. And then I think other than that, we're looking at corn dogs. Corn dogs, real mustard all the way.
So do you want to hear what made my chili so delicious?
Was it 2 parts canned chili?
No.
Okay.
No, so you know how people will add like water or take the water from the beans to get like the base of the chili?
Yeah.
I drain all of that away and I use 3 cans of IPA.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even get a hint of that, to be honest. Like, it was damn good chili, don't get me wrong, but it almost tasted like generic canned chili, but better. Like, it's hard to explain when I'm trying to explain this, but
that I used a different, because usually I have like in my head what I want, and then I just go buy a bunch of crap from Walmart and just kind of throw it together. I never like measure it out. This one, I had found a recipe that sounded kind of good, so I took their list of ingredients and then just threw it all together. It's not as good as my chili normally is, but it was still pretty damn good.
yeah, it was definitely good. But it gave me PTSD from the chili attack from the couple months ago to last year, to where I bought the Hormel's chili for chili dogs. And do you guys remember that when I was telling you guys about that? How I will never touch Hormel chili again. I tasted that and I burped and I was like, oh man, I get PTSD from this. Like, oh man, horrible time. But yes, chili very good. Alex is fully recovered. And mustard.
So
mustard is very preferential.
You know how just a second ago I was telling you I was looking for these pins for my fender flares because I knew I was going to need some?
Yeah.
Well, I can't find them. For most places, I find one pin, and they want $18 plus $20 shipping for it, right? I just found someone who's 3D printing them, and that's the only way to actually get these pins. Like, Toyota does not have them anymore.
Yeah. This sucks.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Next topic. I just forgot as I said next topic. But also, I'm really upset because I talked about the video stuff earlier. I ended up forgetting my main fucking mount for the video at home. I blame the kid distracting me. But so I actually had to use like a phone bipod or a monopod that had like the pull apart thing to put in the phone. I had to use that and put the camera in that, and that was so sketchy putting it out the window. Like, I know the camera could take it as far as like weather goes, but if it was to fall off and roll under my tire, I'm not really going to give much credit to anything. So that really sucked because I was going to do a lot of like the POV camera work while I was filming on my phone to get vertical and horizontal. So thankfully we had Leo. Leo was a very good cameraman at horizontal video, and that's unusable for me. So he did take some vertical, and I have used it, but 88% of what he took was horizontal, and it's unusable in my current platform. So that sucks. And someone got video of me driving by too. Truck looked very cool. I went and checked it out, downloaded the file. It's in horizontal. I was like, son of a bitch. So if you're trying to make Instagram content, you get the best picture quality because everything in Instagram is pretty much vertical. So anything shot in horizontal, you would have to crop. And when you crop it, it gives you like this shitty quality. So that's why I kept telling him to shoot. And he was using his phone and my camera phone, my spare phone that I use for video, using both, holding one horizontal, one vertical. But the cool parts in the video where I would have liked to see was looking at the dash of my truck So, like, he wasn't like he was, and he was not supposed to be camera guy. Like, I did not put him on that job. So, props to him for just picking it up and going.
Yep.
Because he was the whole time he was taking video here and there. Like, I was like, dude, you can relax. Like, this isn't a job. You're supposed to come here and see how fun it is, so that I can convince you into buying a Toyota and coming out with us more. But he was just like, in his mind, he was work, and he was trying to. But Alex got to beat him for the first time in a couple of years. It'd been a while, and
It wasn't the first time, because I went to high school with Sienna, so
yeah.
her dad was always kind of around.
Yeah, as they should be.
Yeah.
As opposed to not being around at all. So yeah, that was fun. I gotta find a better way. I want to get a drone, but if anybody has been following the DJI stuff now, they have been outlawed. And so they will not be sold into the US anymore. If you have them, this hasn't been clear. I haven't done enough research on this, but it's looking like if you have them, you could still use them. You'll be grandfathered in. But I don't know if that they've made up their mind on whether they're going to stop all firmware and stuff updates. So I don't know. The DJI has also, and I don't care what anybody says, DJI has come up with an off-brand that is much cheaper and pretty much the same damn thing. Just completely off-brand. So I think they're going to try and sneak their drones into America using that brand, and I might get on that train because of how cheap they are.
So only newly announced DJI products are banned.
Okay. So everything else will still have.
Yep.
Okay. That's good for everybody who already has them. And honestly, if that means we could still get some of the DJI products that are already out, I think that'll just influence DJI not to keep making new products, if that makes sense. Like, they're just going to keep up with, like, the DJI Air 2 and just keep that line going because that's a steady flow. Like, those are really good drones for catching. They have the market pretty much cornered in America for U.S. like police, for farming, for overlanding and videos. They have the market pretty well cornered. So to completely stop them from any drones hurts America kind of more, in my opinion, as far as the creators go. I mean, yeah, it's going to push American drone makers and stuff. Yeah, I think in the long term, obviously, it pushes American makers or other brands from other countries that have access to do it. But
there's going to be a short-term hurt with long-term gain.
Yeah.
And that's everything with all of the, what we're getting with tariffs and all that. Short-term, it fucking blows. Long-term, it's going to be better.
Yeah. I don't know that they do so much harm that I could justify the short-term hurt that it does to. And thankfully, what they're doing right now, it doesn't really create any short-term harm, really, other than to DJI themselves. But if they were to completely outlaw the usage, any licensing and firmware updates, and completely cut all these drones off from any use, like from the apps, from America at all, that would hurt a lot of content creators. It would hurt a lot of farmers. A lot of police forces use the DJI drones for scouting, for finding perps, etc.
That is actually why I disagree with app lock-in drones like DJI, because I don't like when a company could just decide I can't use my product, or government for that matter.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. can tell me it's illegal, but I can still fly whatever the fuck I want.
Right.
As long as the app doesn't limit me from doing it.
In a way, like, I feel like the government is stopping you and telling you, no, you can't use this. I think it's kind of an overstep if there hasn't been any real issues, and maybe I just haven't seen them. Maybe I'm just ignorant to the actual issues that they're having with DJI, of them being some kind of spy, like spy.
I think
equipment.
it's very likely like the 5% that is being misused and it's affecting the other 95% of users.
Yeah, and it doesn't. And to me, it doesn't justify the hurt put onto him. Like I feel like I can't think of anything from the top of my head, but I can't think of anything like this that has been done that like actually warrants like that actually makes sense. Where you're like, yeah, like maybe we shouldn't. Like, fuck, we still have TikTok, we still have Roblox. Those have hurt more people than helped. I would say. So doing a product that has a wide reputation for being one of the best products out there, like completely stopping them for all content creation for police use and all, is bullshit.
The thing is that we actually have a history of this happening. Not so much with drones per se, but same kind of thing. The CCP controls a majority of Niantic. Niantic is the company that had Pokemon Go, if you aren't aware.
Yeah.
It's now been found that they were using Pokemon Go to get an accurate map of the U.S. to be able to sell to the CCP. So what they were doing is, people would go, they would use their phone camera, whatever, to get their AR Pokemon bullshit. And then Niantic would take that little video to make an accurate 3D map to then sell to the CCP. So the CCP has the majority of the U.S. mapped by Niantic in 3D.
Yeah. How much of that's genuinely useful?
It's very, because they were actually, again, this is Niantic, not DJI. So Niantic would take, like, let's say there was one area of the map they didn't have very accurate. Like, let's say near a senator's mansion. They would make that a hotspot, which they did often, and then people would go there to get the shiny Pokemon or whatever. So they would always have accurate depictions of every section of the map to then sell later. And this happened on military posts. This happened all over the U.S.
Yeah. No, I could see that part. I just mean, like, as far as knowing the hot points, satellite imaging has already kind of, I don't know, like, you kind of already know, you can see it from above. I get that it makes it more in-depth, in detail, but Chinese satellites, I'm sure, have everything already mapped out. Like, if they really wanted to limit it, they would make out blackouts for the USA for any Chinese satellites. Like,
they've got inside photos of buildings.
Yeah, and how would you get inside photos of, like, senators' mansions and stuff with Pokemon Go?
Not
so
much senators' mansions, but people are playing Pokemon Go in their house, dude. Like, they have an accurate 3D map of, like, I think it was 96 or 97% of the U.S. inside buildings and outside.
Yeah. I mean, as far as what they can use for war, most of that I feel like just doesn't matter. But again, you're on a whole different side of me. Like, I just, like, what the fuck you get, like, whatever. Like, what are you gonna do with it? Like, so to me, it's like I don't really care. Pokemon Go isn't a money maker or a revenue maker, or a necessity in some parts, as like the DJI drones are a revenue maker. People need them for parts of their content. But and just to push that all aside, a lot of our police force uses those for the heat-seeking, thermal optic drones. They use a lot of our departments use things like that. And DJI has the best equipment out there, the most user-friendly. And there's just not there's what? I can't remember what it's called, Autotel or something like that. There's like
there's like
2 or 3 big name brand drone makers.
There's only a handful of police departments that are actually using DJI, though. Most of them are using, like, what is the name of the one that we were selling them from the Army? Most of them are using hand-me-downs from the Army.
I was going to say, I don't know how much that's true anymore. because of the prices, they've been able to upgrade that stuff. Because a lot of the police footage now that we watch, like the chase cams and stuff, they have been using DJI drones. So, I mean, who knows?
Only New York uses it. I've got a list right here. NYPD, California State Police Department, and Chula Vista Police Department, wherever that is. And that's about it.
So it's like I get my information from one spot, and I feel like Alex gets it in a completely different one. And then I can't go and cross-reference it, so...
Okay, this is from the... what website is this? Something.gov. 1 second. I'm trying to go through fucking Google's AI to get this information for you. So I've got to dive deeper, you know?
Yeah, not a huge deal. I just, I had heard and read up that they were being used in a lot of like the rural police departments because they were cheaper to buy. So,
and you have to be careful, especially if you're getting your information from TikTok.
Nope.
Because I'm saying you have to be careful because anything tied to the CCP, they're going to only show you information that validates them.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't trust TikTok for that commie stuff. Yeah. But yeah. So either way, even if you were to take them away from those police departments and force them into going back into a different style, it's money spent that doesn't need to be spent. But it's, to me, I don't get it. The major push for it. So when
there are 14, I'm on Axon.com, which again, this is a company that sells drones to police departments. There are 1,400 departments in the U.S. using drones, and almost all of them are using Axon, except for a handful.
Yeah. Well, that's good for Axon. I don't even know, is Axon the American version?
That's the one specific for police and military.
Yeah.
It gives better heat-seeking stuff like that than what heat-seeking. It gives better heat vision.
Yeah.
Heat vision and stuff than what
heat vision.
Better thermals.
Thermal optics, yeah. So it's kind of a bummer. And honestly, I hope DJI figures something out. Because I personally don't want to see... I don't know if that I want to wait for another company to get their stuff around to where DJI is now. I don't feel like waiting for that.
I don't necessarily care about what happens with DJI or a next company or anything. Because again, all of them require an app that then can tell me I can't fly somewhere. Regardless of whether the government wants me to, I should have the ability to make my own decisions.
Yep.
So and with building open source stuff, you have the ability to have a better device with better cameras that's upgradable and repairable without being locked into an app like that.
Right. Two sides of the same coin, man. I like to be able to buy a well-made or decently made drone that has the app already built in that is pretty user-friendly, because especially right now, because I don't have a lot of drone experience, so I would need something that can handle a lot of that for me. So I don't know, consumer-wise, I feel like I'm more of the consumer end, where Alex is more of the build-it-yourself end, if that makes sense, to be away from that kind of thing.
I don't like nannies. Nannies suck. I like to just have my own stuff and do it my own way.
I mean,
he just doesn't like Big Brother.
I know. That's really what it is. It's not, yeah. And I don't know, like, I feel like there are some things that we have to just deal with, right? And
is DJI a subscription model?
No. I have multiple DJI products. I don't have to subscribe to use any of it. So I don't think any of theirs. I haven't had to pay for any of my stuff for DJI other than just buying the.
I meant specifically the drone.
Oh, I haven't heard anything about it, but who knows? I'm sure if I say no, Alex will say yes. So
No, there's not unless you're trying to do mapping with it, which I 100% don't think anybody should ever use something from China to do mapping.
yeah, that wouldn't be a recommendation for me either, honestly. But you do you.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
And then for operations management, you gotta for Flight Hub, but for the most part, no, there's not.
Good.
Because that's my other thing. I hate subscriptions. Subscriptions are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless it's for an air freshener that gets sent to my house once a month.
Yeah. Not sponsored, but yeah, no. Hopefully that situation gets figured out. Drone shots are absolutely beautiful, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to get really good shots with them. So, whether that's them following you, whether that's them getting the larger picture of where you're at, I can't tell you how many times I've been blown away by a drone shot on the top of like a mountainside or a cliff. It's just a really cool bird's eye view, and it's a really big piece of nowadays overlanding content creation in general. It's a really big piece because you could just set it and forget it sometimes. You could just set it to follow, and it'll follow your vehicle through a path. You could set it to go around you and get visual around your vehicle. So there's all sorts of different.
This is when we find out there's actually a little Chinese boy that's doing all that. They don't actually use AI.
They do a damn good job. Keep it up, boys.
Because there's been a lot of that where like AI chatbots have actually been little Indian kids sitting in a fucking sweat room.
I've heard some about that. That's funny. Like, no wonder they fucking work like shit. They can't understand you. Like, but it's so crazy. AI is getting nuts. It is. It's getting harder and harder, and by the month, it's getting harder and harder to tell what's real anymore.
Hey, sorry guys, we're gonna get political here for a second. So if you just skip to timestamp 49.15, it's cracking me up because AI right now is the biggest producer of greenhouse gases and I don't necessarily believe in man-made global warming, but it's like the biggest cause of it, and then the left is pushing it so hard while saying we need greener power, but not allowing nuclear, which is just, it's hilarious.
And then like to not know the actual damage like throwing an AI like data processing center does.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Like, and they're popping up all over Michigan because of the amount of fresh water we have. All over. They've been blocked.
Part of it's because our governor's been like begging them to come here.
Yeah, because it's all revenue that she wants. It's all about money. It's not about conserving what we have. If it was all about money, which it is for her, and if she had enough time, she'd strip this whole fucking state to a concrete slab.
And for the listeners, it's not about money for the state. It's about money for Governor Whitmer.
Yeah. It's about more income because we've seen our money go absolutely fucking nowhere. So, I mean,
we've followed money trails from bills that she pushed to her pocket. So,
yep. Pretty sure, I can't remember what is exactly some of the solar or some of the mining centers. I think it's some of the solar fields that they want to put in are linked directly to the Secretary of State's husband that owns the company or is the chairman or something like that.
Correct.
And they're getting deals to put those in Michigan and pushing those in Michigan. Really odd if you really just want to follow the money. And that took me 4 seconds to look up, and Alex already had them looked up. So when I found out, I started looking up. He called me just a bullshit like we do. And I'm like, hey, have you heard about this? And he goes, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we started bullshitting about that for half an hour. So me and Alex just bullshit randomly. He like calls me up and he's like, hey, what you doing?
Do you see this bullshit?
Yeah. Yep, I've seen it. So, yeah, it's the money trail is ridiculous. And not to mention, but it's happening in every state. It's happening in every state, and we're seeing this right now. with the Somali daycares. That's fucking crazy. Have you seen anything about these?
Dude, we are so off-road now. Listeners, this might be one to skip. You're half an hour in, and I'm telling you that.
All right, so
the Somali
we're not too
daycares
far.
I'm about to say, you want to enlighten me because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Okay,
Daycare.
so
I've not heard anything about these yet.
These Somali daycares, oh my God. Okay, so here's what's happening, right? A bunch of Somalis came over, and now it's getting linked back to Somali government, by the way. Just a little tidbit. So they're coming over, they're opening up daycare centers, which might even just be their house, and they're taking state funds to run these daycare centers, but there's no kids.
Oh, gotcha.
And not only, so the government of, what is it, Minnesota?
Yes.
They get money for every asylum person from Somalia that
Correct.
they get. So they get that money to them. They make these mostly Somali-ran or all Somali-ran daycares. They get funded for that. The more kids, the better. So their private investigator that came in and cracked the whole fucking case and came in and said, hey, where are these kids? You guys have $2.6 million in funding for this daycare or these string of daycares by that name, whatever it is. And I don't see a single fucking kid in this daycare.
On paper, it's the Learning Center. The actual signs are the Leering Center.
Yeah. Can't even spell them right. So they're saying they have all these kids. They're like, hey, can we come in here? Can we see if there are even any kids in here? No. They're locking the doors. They don't want any attention. There was even one clip where they said they don't even have kids. They didn't say it verbatim, but he asked them, hey, do you even have kids? And they said, no.
Well, and the thing is, he came in and he's like, hey, my son, little Johnny, I really need a daycare for him to go to. Do you have a pamphlet or something? No. Would he have friends to play with here? No. Like,
yeah,
dude. And then there's have been people that have gone to Somali houses, like in, nice neighborhoods that are listed as a daycare center. They go in there and then they ask, like, is this a daycare center? Oh, no. We don't do daycare.
Yeah.
Like, it's bad.
Yeah. So Trump is doing like a full investigation now on this. And usually you could go, hey, maybe that's just a scam. Maybe it is going somewhere. Except if that was the case, why would all of a sudden Mr. Waltz stop announcing his re-election for governor?
He stepped down.
Yeah.
100%. He's not running.
So if that is a true indicator, we're going to see some cool stuff here soon.
And then also, on that same topic, all the liberal, like, the big liberal names are now starting GoFundMes to fund these daycare centers because they might be losing their federal funding.
Yeah. Yep. Which, since we're going to bring this, and we could chapter this, so let's do 5 to 8 more minutes of politics because I want to talk about one more thing since we're on politics. The liberal cries for Venezuela have been fucking hilarious. I have like 8 Venezuelan friends who are cheering. They're like, and I'm not saying America is innocent. I'm not saying that they're doing it for the good of Venezuela.
Oh no,
obviously,
we're in it for the oil.
Oh, they smell oil, and we heard the bald eagle screech. Like, we get it. We know, and trust me, Venezuelans know that America's not there to liberate, and that's it. So, with that underway, and so that little caveat there, the 8 Venezuelan friends that I have don't give a shit. That's how bad that is.
I'm not racist. I have Venezuelan friends.
I have friends that are Venezuelan, but they've never been there. No, but I actually play a game where there's a bunch of them down there, and they're ecstatic, dude. They're like, finally.
Yeah.
This guy appointed himself. He was not even supposed to be there. A lot of people don't support him. They were ecstatic that he's gone. They were cheering in the streets. They were happy.
Yep.
The biggest issue that they have right now is that they can't travel by airport right now. Sorry, we had to take some precautions. But from what I seen, there weren't any casualties, civilian casualties,
80.
right?
80.
Was there 80? Okay.
80.
Hey,
Yep.
we're sorry, civilians. But shit happens.
I guess
I sent
supposedly,
that to Mark.
supposedly they bombed the previous dictator's grave
Good.
just for no reason. Besides,
And when I tell you, Trump has had some of the, I don't love Trump. I'm not a MAGA, but when I say he's had some of the most successful operations,
100%.
and not only that, have they been some of the more badass operations? Like, he went into another country, SEAL Team 6, and I know he didn't use SEAL Team 6, but I'm using this as like the general.
yeah.
He SEAL Team 6'd into this guy's fucking house, stole him out of his sleep in the dead of night, and came back with a helicopter that got a few gunshots in it. And that was it.
This is after the dude's like, do it, America. Come for me. I have a top-notch air superiority system to keep you at bay.
The one thing Trump is really good at is calling your fucking bluff. The last thing a third world country should be doing is talking shit. And that's what they get. I mean, I really do think that, like, if you're like a 5-year-old and you're talking shit to a 13-year-old, and then they come in and whoop your ass, who are you blaming? Yeah, and you shouldn't have been talking shit.
From a world stage standpoint, right? I think taking Venezuela is the best thing we could have done, because that now cuts off oil to China and Russia, who have been using Venezuela's massive oil reserve, which that's kind of a big deal. And it's going to kind of take the wind out of Russia's sails here going into their constant conflict with Ukraine.
Right.
And honestly, I would be happy to see us set up shop and just take care of Venezuela as if they were a 51st state.
Right. And you know what? The best things that I've seen are the videos of these guys going on a marketplace, changing their locations to Venezuela, and lowballing the fuck out of Venezuela guys. And
I've been seeing it so often, especially with someone getting hit with storms.
Yeah, they get down to like Venezuela, and they're looking. There's like a 2018 F-250, which why is that in Venezuela? But anyway, the 2018 F-250, and they're like, $1,500. I'll meet you at the border. Cash, $1,500 USD. And I've like, I got to do the translation. That might be a deal. Like,
it's a deal.
Yeah. For anyone, from anyone down there, like, it's a deal. If it wasn't for like import and issues like that. But if they become a 51st state, we don't have to worry about that.
But if we kind of set up, even if we set up a really good trade deal with Venezuela for oil, it's going to absolutely tank the oil prices, which is going to draw gas prices down to like $1.50.
If gases went down to $1.50, that is an overlander's biggest expense, other than parts. But for the general, like, if I could go to fucking Colorado and back for $400 or $500,
yeah,
because it would probably take about $1,000 to get to Colorado and close to back. So if I could get there for half of that, oh yeah. So the economy booms, gas prices go down. Like,
yep,
dude,
economy booms, inflation's gone. It also now gives us a product that we can undercut Saudi for, which tensions with Saudi Arabia are fucking crazy. So if we can undercut Saudi Arabia and start selling oil cheaper than them, that now gives a bigger money intake to the U.S., which helps the economy even more. Like, it, from a world stage standpoint, it makes sense for us to take over Venezuela.
Yeah, as greedy as it sounds, yes.
Dude, 100%. I'm not saying that this is like the nice thing to do, but this is it makes sense,
The
right?
logical thing to do. Yes.
And honestly, it helps Venezuela too, because they're constantly dealing with dictators. So if we can go in there, make them, I want to see them a state. I don't want to see them a territory like, I'm trying to think of one, Guam, right? I don't want to see them as a territory. I'd like to see Venezuela as a state, because then they help make decisions on who's president, what laws are passed.
Yeah, what would be really nice to see is if we can do a state to where Venezuela can retain and keep their nationality, their practices, keep their individuality, but to be governed by some, like, a democracy. But the issue is like Native Hawaiians have a huge issue with the U.S. because of how the U.S. came in and pretty much, not that they whitewashed them.
Set up shop.
Yeah, they set up shop and pushed everyone else. Yeah, and they don't like that. Of course, nobody does. But, like, I'd like for it to be a win-win for Venezuela. I want them to feel that, like, they can be themselves, that we're not pushing them out. But I want them to have a healthy government and a healthy economy. I want to see them jump out of second or third, third world. So, and honestly, I want that for the rest of South America as well. But let's be realistic that won't happen.
And if we could set up a good trade deal with them, if we could set up a good social deal with them, that's a win-win for everybody. The other thing is, if we do claim them as a 51st state, that gives us military control over South America, which is, now we're keeping ourselves safe bottom to top on our side of the world, right? We've got South America on lock. We've got, obviously, North America's on lock. Who's our biggest competitor? Fucking Canada. Fuck you. They got what, like 8 people?
Fuck you, right? Sorry. So we love our Canadians, but
we do. But, like, seriously, we have military superiority right now in North America. If we can set up something in Venezuela based on location, right next to Brazil where it's at, we'd have military superiority over all of South America. And that also squeezes Mexico to help them stop allowing all the drugs that they've transported.
That's what I was going to say. It's a push in the right direction to get rid of these cartels, because they have been let go for too long. They've become too integral to the governments. And now I don't think the governments can function without the cartels' money flowing into them, into the pockets of the, of these people. I don't think that they know how to run anymore without it. So I think it would be really cool. But we're getting in on 10 minutes of politics, so any last words?
No, that's it. I'm very happy. Oh, I'll get a last word. Very happy for Venezuela that their dictator is gone.
Yes.
And I hope that we could set up a trade deal and social deal that keeps them safe from becoming part of the U.S. Secretly, I just want them to become part of the U.S., but don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
That's the logical side of me, right? I'm very logical when it comes to government, not so much like feel goody.
Yeah.
But
I'd like the U.S. to, like, U.S. has had obviously a spotty history with displacing the residents, the prior residents. Like, we all know. We're not dumb. We're not saying that we haven't. But I would like us to not do that, and I would like them to feel like themselves and to be their own thing, to govern their own selves. Once they get set up,
that's what the feel good side of me wants.
Yeah.
But the logical side of me is like, man, that's such a good thing to control.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So moving on.
All right, that's the end of our political rant.
Mark, when are you going to get new tires? What's your next tire?
I think I'm gonna go with Gladiator X Comp, and then we're gonna mess around putting his 35s onto my truck here.
Gladiator X Comps? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what's on Devin's little truck.
What brand is that? Is that Gladiator or X Comp?
Gladiator.
Oh, okay.
Gladiator.
I'm not familiar with. I've heard of X Comp, but I'm not familiar with Gladiator. Is that like an off brand, or is it like
No. Not
Like,
really.
Is it like Kenda? Like they started like an off-brand and now
Yeah.
they're kind of mainstream.
Yeah, kind of. Not as mainstream as Kenda.
Yeah.
The big thing with the Gladiator brand is the X-Comp MT because it's one of the most aggressive mud tires you can buy
Gotcha.
and street drive.
Yeah.
The AT, which we tried first on Devin's F-150, they're an amazing tire, dude. He's got probably 60,000 miles on them now, and they still have good tread, barely worn.
Sweet.
They amazing traction in every situation. They were on a 2-wheel drive truck, and he was getting around in the winter without weight in the bed.
Right.
Like,
No, it's good. Yeah.
They're a very good tire, and they're relatively cheap. We've had them now. Devin's had them on 3 trucks, the same set that he just rotates through. I've had them on, my sister had them on her Jeep, and they were great on that. And then, yeah, they're a good tire.
Sweet. Are you changing your wheel setup or are you staying the same and just going bigger tires?
I haven't quite decided. I'm thinking of potentially going to a different wheel setup because mines are really looking rough, especially now there's rust forming on the inside of one of them.
Right.
Yeah, what the hell?
That's weird.
I've never seen that. What are those Visions?
Yes.
Aren't they
Yeah,
supposed to be good?
I'm not impressed.
I think they're good if you don't use them like I do.
That's true.
Like,
I would say Mark does send it more without a care. And okay, so Mark sends it without having like the long arm suspension or long travel like Alex. He sends it more with a closer to stock truck. So I feel like he does more abuse to his vehicle.
so back when my truck was stock and Mark had his black truck, we did that first trip where we went up and around Lake Michigan, up through Keweenaw and all that. And this was right, like Mark's put his wheels
Literally-
on for this trip.
Yeah, literally like a week before. It
Yeah.
literally just
And-
got in just in time.
We got back from that trip and they were already fucking destroyed. And we were doing the same stuff. My RRWs just held on and the Visions just full of nicks, full of being chewed up. I mean, it was
Yeah.
pretty much instant.
Maybe they're meant
then
for
now-
just like social overlanding, not the real stuff.
And now the whole, they've got those fake bead locks on them. That whole section in there has formed rust where it's actually pitting it. It's not just you can paint it. It needs wire wheeled out and then painted.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I still paid him.
And you can't even remove the lip either.
Yeah, the lips. Yeah, I'm not impressed. I'm really not.
Kind of a bummer. So moving on from the wheels, let's say for all the listeners, Rigs and Cafe, when are we starting that? Do we have an official date yet? I don't think we do.
You know what? This is something we actually need to talk about.
Courts
right
and
now.
calf.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
Quartz and Calf.
I'll never remember. But I just figured I'd bring it up. It's we're getting close to the hour, so maybe we can get a date figured out.
I would like to see it end of January. I would be down for that last weekend of January, so the 31st.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do we have a location that we?
Why don't we just do that place in White Cloud? Like I've had that out. It's a large area. It's right next to the lake. There's trails up and down it, so if we want to do some trails, we could do some trails.
How far off a main road is that spot?
Not very. I don't think.
Because part of my thing is to the spot. I'm trying to limit trail usage.
I feel
Just because
like-
we're pulling in a high amount of vehicles, so I don't want a chance damaging the trail.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to do.
I guess we should scout it out.
Yeah, we should scout it out.
Yeah, we should do that.
I have been saying that.
Well, we've been busy.
Let's see. Oh, why am I in New Jersey? Oh, yeah. Someone was telling me I need to come wheeling in New Jersey with them.
Why? There's like no wheeling there.
Well, there's a little bit in that area, but he says there's some cool stuff up there, and I'm like, yeah, maybe someday. when I get money to drive all the way to New Jersey for a weekend or something. So definitely.
You just don't hear about let's go wheeling in New Jersey. You know, it just.
Well, that's the thing is, I think I would like to open up that like you don't see that a lot in the Northeast as much, and I think that would be a really cool tour. If I was to ever get money to explore the unexplored in that kind of way, like to go and drive around, talk to local people that are in the area and go, hey, what are your favorite spots? You know, there are mountain ranges in that area. There are, you know, you have Maine, which as a coastal state, I'm sure is beautiful. I'm sure there's some places that are really nice to go to. I'd love to
Maine,
Northeast area.
Maine, I could see having some wheeling. I actually want to go. I'm pretty sure it's Maine. Where's Acadia at?
No idea.
So I would assume New Hampshire and Vermont might be kind of iffy of finding trails. I mean, I know you
Yeah,
got quads.
Acadia is in Maine, and that's where I want to go.
I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm sorry, listeners, for this. I thought Maine was completely separated. Like, in my head, I thought it was separated, like, ocean around it.
No.
And it's not at all. I'm, like, looking at it. I'm like, what the fuck? New Brunswick is, like, the Canadian border is on the whole other side. Like, in my head, where New Brunswick is ocean.
You thought it was a pencil or a peninsula.
Yeah, just for that other part. Like, I knew the backside touched, but, like, that was, like, it was kind of like, what the hell? Like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wait, we could go trailing in New Brunswick? That's cool. Like, there are mountains in there. There's a big river. And there are, like,
oh my God,
there are trails peppered all the way through that around, like, there's, like, called Billy Brown Mountain, Howard Peak, Upper Stone Ridge, Winter Run. Like,
I really want to go to the Acadia National Park.
there's one in Minnesota that I would like to do, but there's Baxter State Park.
There's not really any off-roading in Acadia. It's somewhere I've always wanted to go.
Yeah. The Golden Road. They have a Golden Road. Oh, man, that's beautiful.
And Gavin, you talking about the Maine on the map of how you perceived it reminds me of the people that perceived Alaska as a giant island.
Yeah. I think when I was younger, I thought that, but I don't know why. Like, when I think of the U.S. map, I thought Maine had water all around the top of it. But I want to say that the only reason is because when I think of the U.S. map, it doesn't include any other maps, right?
Yeah.
It's just the
right.
U.S.
It doesn't. Yep.
So it's not that I obviously think that there's no Canada attached to us. It's just I thought the way that the U.S. map with just the U.S. in it, that Maine was just kind of out on its own. Because I remember visiting the ocean in Maine, and I just for some reason I thought we were on the tip part of it. But I'm not so sure anymore.
And just think, when we take over Venezuela, people are going to think Venezuela is a floating island.
Yeah, right. It's just going to be down on the bottom.
Then
It's
going to be next.
It's just off the coast of Florida. What do you mean?
We're going to get Gulf of America over there by Venezuela now.
Oh, God, I didn't even think about that. Hold up.
What?
Yeah, the Gulf of America touches Venezuela. So, like, it really would be the Gulf of America then.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know the map.
No, no, I guess it doesn't. That would be the Mediterranean. Or the Caribbean. Sorry.
Hey, see, we Americans love the Caribbeans anyway, so we're already in that area a ton.
I mean, we got stuff in Cuba. We have Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it'll be cool. But I would like to do the Northeast and do like the guy that I told you about that had the Subaru Baja and the FJ just like I did. He lives in that Northeast area and he's got some beautiful views up there. So I'd love to do that area and just document it well because I don't know any I'm going to look tonight on YouTube, but I don't know any mainstream overlanders that have really tried to branch out over there. Maybe because there's nothing that crazy to see, but I just looked at one trail near a mountainside, and it had like big cliff faces off the side of the trail that were like deep, like 30, 40, 50 feet. So, I mean, there's views. I mean, there's views everywhere. I'd just like to be able to get out and do them, right?
So, fun facts. Did you realize that the Appalachian Mountains and the Scottish Highlands are the same mountain range?
No.
So the Scottish Highlands used to be connected at the top of the Appalachian Mountains, and then when Pangea broke apart, it dragged that section of mountains up to Scotland.
So Scotland should be America.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah, so we should just take over.
So, and actually, the Scottish and Irish immigrants mostly settled in the Appalachian Mountains because it reminded them of home. And a lot of the stuff that you think of as Appalachian is Scottish or Irish.
Yeah.
Like bluegrass is actually a Scottish thing. It's super cool, super interesting, fun info to learn. And they settled there because it reminded them of home, because it was the same mountain range.
Yeah, it's like the, what is it, the Finnish or Swedish? I can't remember the big population that moved into the northern part of the UP where the coal mining or the copper mining was. It's like
the
Finnish, Dutch. Well, there's a couple different ones from that area, though.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys moved over there, and a lot of them still retain a lot of the heritage. They still even talk Swedish. Who is it that have all the saunas? Is it Sweden?
I think it's Sweden.
Yeah.
Because
they still, like, there's a bunch of them up there that still have, like, houses all over that still have saunas up there, and they use them frequently. So that's really cool. Fun fact, but right before we get off here, the basalt in Lake Superior is, like, the oldest exposed rock, and the mountains in the UP Lake Superior area are, like, the oldest mountains in the world. One of them. And the basalt is the oldest. So that is pretty cool too, yeah. So this basalt you see is some of the oldest that has been exposed to the world. So it's pretty cool. You got anything to add, Alex, before we head out?
Geography is fun.
Yeah. Sorry about the politics, but we did keep it under like 20 minutes combined. So in the grand scheme of things, I think we did pretty good. Thanks for listening to Botches. We'll try to stay off the politics a little more, but
we should just start a second show that is politics at this point.
We just need a 30-minute segment to where we can rant, and if they want to listen, they can listen. If they don't, they don't. And just
I kind of want to make a politics show. I wish I had time for it.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't have time for a whole nother one, but I would sit for 30 minutes and do a rant where we just bullshit about the politics and then move on. So I don't know. We'll see. And there might be something in the future. Leave a voicemail if you don't want us to do it. Leave a voicemail if you have any trail tips for how not to fart while overlanding.
Yeah, because apparently overland farts is a good voicemail.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal around here. So I appreciate everybody for doing
voicemail
that.
About Camera Works.
Camera Works, yes. Just techniques, styles, equipment, whatever you want to say.
Real quick, I want to do a little tail end of this voicemail segment. I'm going to read off a radio chatter card, and you can call in and answer the card.
Yes, we will do that. Oh, right now? Oh, we're doing it right now. This was unscripted, but we did have this actually planned to do at some point. I just didn't know it was going to be right now. I have spaghetti waiting for me. I'm hungry.
All right. So for the voicemail segment, that's a bad card.
All right. Take two.
What close encounter with nature have you had?
All right. You heard it here first, folks. Call us up on the voicemail. What close encounter in nature have you had?
And we'll give our answers.
Yep. Give us the answers. And if we actually get any voicemail, we will read off our answers.
Correct.
There you go.
Yep.
So if you don't send any voicemail, you won't hear our really cool answers that we told you back in season 1, which you won't find because we have so many episodes for you to binge. So many.
Over
We're on
100.
season 3. So you won't find
Over
it.
100.
So you have to leave a voicemail to figure out our crazy, kooky stories. And on that note,
All right.
we'll see you later.
Catch you guys later.
Later.